what up everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you. Last year, I was able to meet one of the best wrestlers that I think there is in the wrestling industry today. Guy puts on great matches, whether it's Monday Night Raw, whether it's pay-per-view, this, that, and or the other. Dolph Ziggler. Love the guy. Freaking awesome. And this week I put up 2 videos. Top 10 wrestlers that I've ever met. Mostly just the 10 guys that were nicest to me, the coolest, told me some backstage story shit, and made me feel like, you know, some of these guys you have to pay out of pocket to meet these guys, and they were, you know, grateful that I went there to meet them. Sergeant Slaughter was such a nice guy that coming in September, I have a chance to go meet him. I've already met him twice, but he's such a nice guy. I was thinking about going to meet him for a 3rd time since he's actually doing an autograph signing here in Sacramento. I put up the bottom 5 wrestlers that I ever met. Some assholes on that list, including me. I put myself on that list in case you haven't seen that video yet, but check that one out. But Ziggler is one of the guys that I left off the top 10 only because I really didn't think about him. But when I sit down and I think about, you know, all of the guys that have been so nice to me over the past, Ziggler's one of the best. You know, this was at SummerSlam Access. It was on the Sunday session. I only went to the Sunday session now that I think about it. I've never been to a Saturday session. This will be my first one. I've been to SummerSlam Access 2010, 2011, 2012, and this will be the first trip that I went out of my way to make sure I was there on Saturday to go to both of those sessions, as well as the session that's there. Alright, just as you would think, if you've ever been to a WrestleMania Access, the SummerSlam Access, the day of the event, it is pretty much slim pickings of guys that you're going to meet there, unless you're meeting somebody in the VIP area. Very, very rarely do they put anybody out there who is going to be appearing on the show. They're either, you know, with the agents or with the people that they're having the match with, going over what's going to happen, and, you know, making sure they work through all the kinks of their match. You know, trying to make sure they have, you know, have fun. The guys that are not used on the card, those are the guys that are heavily featured on Access to make sure that there's people out there. There's a lot of kids there. There's a lot of people meeting wrestlers for the first time, so they're happy to meet guys like the Usos and the you know, the Tenzais and this, that, and the other. But SummerSlam Access has it has 1 session, but inside that session there's 2 shifts. That might be the easiest way to break it down. The first shift is the guys that come out for the first 2 hours, and then they're replaced by another wrestler, and that wrestler stays there for the last 2 hours of the show. Now, it's like a pecking order. Last year, Ziggler had a match with somebody. Fuck me. He was the Money in the Bank guy, and it was really cool to meet him because he had the briefcase with him, and everybody thought that that might be a show that he was actually going to cash in on, even though he held it for almost an entire year. Shit, I can't remember what Ziggler did at SummerSlam last year, but basically, everybody knows the story who watched the video. I was late getting to SummerSlam. It's definitely a fun video of watching me and Yaya drive from San Diego to Los Angeles when he picked me up from my flight there. I would go out of my way to make sure that you watch that. I'll try to make sure that I put it down in the description box and link it on Twitter so you can check that out. But as also, I list all the other videos like this of meeting guys from the past, so you can, you know, maybe pick somebody on there that you haven't seen in the past and watch this. But we were late getting there, and basically, when we got in to Access, I had to go directly to meet CM Punk. Once I came out of the CM Punk line, which didn't take that long, because I pretty much went up to the front of the line, and I was one of the last 3 people to meet him. We came right out of there, met up. It was me, Above Average Muda, Kevin, Man on Fire, the Lorenzos were both there. Justin Ortiz was with us. We had a big pack of people. We were moving across, trying to figure out whose line we were going to get in. And basically, we got into the lineup of Ziggler. We thought there was no chance in hell that we were going to be able to meet him, but we wanted to go down without a fight. When you know, like I said, when one wrestler's out there and their shift comes to an end, they're replaced by somebody else. Everybody knew the lineup because WWE has this new thing in, if you tweet a certain number, it will send text to your phone and tell you which lines to get in, what booths. They're all sponsored by a company, and they say, you know, the Telemundo booth is going to have John Morrison. If you go to this booth, it's going to have the Hart Dynasty. This one's going to have R-Truth and Kofi. It's pretty much easily, you know, divided out. by stuff like that. And it had said that at this booth was Ziggler now, and he was going to be replaced by Lord Tensai. Lord Tensai would be cool to meet. He's in my encyclopedia as Prince Albert, but he's not on the long list of guys. You basically want to go down without a fight. You want to make sure you get up to the front of the line to make sure that you get that Ziggler autograph. And one of the coolest things that I've ever seen anybody do at Access. I saw Jimmy Hart come out, and he, basically second-guessed what security said to everybody, and he, said, everybody calm down, this is WrestleMania, this is Access, we're here to have fun, don't worry about it. Everybody's going to get an autograph, everybody's going to get a picture, just, let's just hang out, let's have fun, we're going to be here for 2 hours, and that's, basically what Jimmy did after security told everybody, have your shit ready, move in, move out, we got to move along, got a lot of people to meet. Jimmy Hart, one of the coolest, one of the best. I sort of felt bad that he was on Ravi's bottom 5. Make sure you check out Assault and Battery 777 for his video of his bottom 5s. Basically, he asked me sort of to do it, but I ripped his video off. Honestly, just put my guys instead of his guys. But I took his whole video concept. But one of the coolest thing, Ziggler was told by one of the agents that work Access, basically, you got 5 minutes. Wrap it up. Let's get done. Let's get out of here. We'll switch it out. We'll get Albert out here, Tensai, whatever you want to call him, and basically you're all done. One of the coolest things I've ever seen anybody do. The second that they told him, Ziggler stood up. He looked it over the line. He sort of waved at everybody, and he yelled out. He said, "Hey, I got 5 minutes. I will meet every single person in this line. If that's what you want, have your items out. I apologize, we're not going to take pictures, but I want to make sure everybody walks out of here with an autograph. That's what you came for. That's what you're going to get. Have your stuff, put it on the table. You can meet me, you can meet Vicky, and pass it on down the line." And everybody loved it. Ziggler cleared out a whole, I love it when people from like Robbie Rebel always calls it the queue. He cleared out a whole queue, a whole line, which is basically like 7 zigzags of people. Ziggler met like, I don't want to say it, too many, but he met 150 people in 5 minutes. And everybody got an autograph. I'm sure some people were even able to jump in there twice. You weren't able to get a picture unless you were really quick with taking the picture, but basically, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen any of the wrestlers do. I had him signed in my encyclopedia. For some reason, he's not in the first one. I guess he hadn't made his debut yet, but I had him signed the freaking Spirit Squad page, because that's basically all that there was for him. That'd be a good thing to get Volume 2 for, just to get a page for him. But Vicky Guerrero is right next to him. Vicky Guerrero signed the encyclopedia as well. I looked at her right in the eyes, and I said, "Vicky, he might have the money in the bank, but you picked the wrong guy. You should have stuck with Swagger. Swagger's going to be the next champion. That's the guy you want to be with." And she laughed in my face. Basically, that was it. But it was awesome to meet Ziggler. He's one of the fan favorites. A lot of people love him, and he deserves it. Because that day he stood up, he met a ton of people, and one of the coolest guys. I wish I could go back and squeeze him in to make sure he was in that top 10 the favorite guys I meet. If I ever do it over again, I'll try to think about this story and make sure I can squeeze him in. But fun times. Looks like there's new champions at the ROH show. I don't even know what the freaking main event was, but Ravi just tweeted it. Just saw it on my little phone here. So have fun. Check that out. Peace out, guys.